Happy Monday. We are happy to have you here. Hope you enjoyed your weekend. And we're excited to start talking about getting back to business today. I know over the first round of our Be Relentless webinars, we talked a lot about your mindset, getting ready for the next step. And we're happy today to start taking those small steps. And while you likely have not had your community open up yet, you may be seeing a little, glimmer of hope that it may happen in coming weeks. And this is when you really want to be planning. So we have Eric Sachs here from Breakthrough Broker to talk to us about a marketing action plan, what you can do to work through your marketing plan right now and get yourself ready to turn things back on. In the question area, we are posting a link to the workbook. If you haven't done so already, you may want to go into the Resource Center and download this. That's for Century 21 people. And Eric, I will turn it over to you. Thank you so much for joining us. We're happy to have you and happy things are starting to get back to normal.
Yeah, I mean, it's a new normal, obviously, I think, for everybody. And thank you for having me. We love our partnership with you guys. And so we're going to talk about some fun stuff today. We're going to talk about the marketing action plan. I'm going to start by talking a little bit about the actions that we take today is going to be the success that we see tomorrow. And so we're going to talk a little bit about that, and we're going to get through all that. And we might even take a look at the Century 21 Marketing Center to see some things and ideas we could do today that we can leverage for tomorrow. Sound good? Awesome. So I'm going to stop my video because I can't look at myself and talk at the same time. Again, my name is Eric Sachs. I'm the co-founder of BreakthroughBroker.com. I'm excited today to be talking about about a marketing action plan. And why are we talking about a marketing action plan today? Because I believe that no matter what you did to prepare for 2020, whether you did a business plan and a super dialed in marketing plan and everything that you did back in December or January, those things have to be pivoted today. They have to be tweaked a little bit. They have to change for the next 6 months. So again, I think it's important to know my background before we dive into this, because I've been to a lot of classes. I sat where you sit. And one of the things that drives me crazy sometimes about our industry is that you have people who teach you on how to make money in this industry, how to organize your business, and maybe they've never sold a home before. So that's one of my pet peeves, and it was when I was a realtor. So I like to tell you guys, I've sat where you sit. I had a top producing team, and like all good realtors, I had a past life. I don't think any of us went and got like a 4-year degree from a major university on how to sell residential real estate. Maybe some of you have. If you have, good. If you haven't, I came from a past life like most of you. I chased bad guys for 13 years in Fort Collins, Colorado. I was a detective for 7. I left the detective bureau to go back to the street to train rookies because I liked to teach even back then. And when you train here in Colorado, police officers, they send you to burglar alarms all night long on night shift. And in Denver, we have, on Fort Collins, we had mountains, and so the wind comes off the mountains at night. And if you go on vacation for some reason, it's like a prerequisite to leave a back door open. And so the wind would rattle that back door, alarm would go off, we'd go in, no bad guy. And I'd find myself in these super nice homes in the middle of the night, checking out the kitchen. I'd call my rookie over and say, look at this inset sink and check out the granite in the backsplash. It's pretty sick. And my rookies thought I was crazy. And then I went and got my real estate license as a total hobby. I figured it would be something fun to do on the side. But then I was able to match my cop salary as a part-time realtor. And then I figured that I got to do this full time. So I left cop work, started my own real estate company with my best friend. We grew that to over 100 agents, and we were acquired by a large national franchise who wanted us to manage thousands of realtors in several states. And we decided not to do that and build BreakthroughBroker.com. Breakthrough Broker now has 460,000 realtors using it. One of the reasons I tell you this story is that I want you to understand that we know where you're at. I understand. My wife's a realtor. My business partner's wife is a realtor. My brother's a realtor. And I understand the uncertainty of these times right now. I understand how scary and anxious you guys are as it relates to your business, right? And we all work for Century 21 with Century 21, but we're all small business owners, right? And we have our own business of real estate. And that uncertainty of where the future is going is scary to us. And what I'm seeing is some of that uncertainty and that anxiety and that fear is turning into paralysis, meaning we're not working right now in and on our business. We're letting that anxiety take us in different places. We're letting that anxiety of, man, I really should get my business plan done for the next 6 months. I really should work on my CRM. I really should work on my marketing action plan, but I'm going to go clean the garage. I'm going to go work on the yard. And what I want to talk about before we dive into the marketing action plan is really this. The actions you take today will be the closings you see tomorrow. All of the work you put in today will be what you see in August, September, and October. And we see a little of this every year, right? When I was a realtor and I was a new realtor and I had just quit cop work and I was 100% commission, no more salary, right? I had a problem. One year, I had all this freedom of working for myself, and I saw the holidays coming. So in the States, I was looking at Thanksgiving and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna let the foot off the gas pedal. And I did. And I took Thanksgiving and I parlayed that into Christmas. And then I parlayed that into New Year's. And before I knew it, I hadn't worked from like the first week in November to the second week in January. And then I was complaining in March, April, and May that the market was terrible. Well, it wasn't the market, it was my fault. And you guys know, your realtor, your partners, and you yourselves, when you put the pedal to the metal through the holidays, you see those closings in January, February, and March. So it's very similar right now. If you start working in and on your business right now, the actions you take today will be those closings that you see in a couple of months. So we're going to dive into a 2020 marketing action plan. And what I think is so important for you guys is this. I really want you to know that we need to tweak our marketing and business plans for the next 6 months. We need a 6-month sprint to be able to close the number of homes we need to close to bring the money we want to bring home to our families June through the end of December. We're going to need to sprint June through the end of December. I'm saying June because if they start lightening up mid-May and we get back at it in June, we have 6 months to make 2020 great. 6 months, right? We had some lost time here. And many of you had great momentum moving into this truck that hit us, right? And then we didn't have great momentum. So let's work on our marketing action plan for the next 6 months. Today, right now, when we walk away, if you download that marketing action plan, which is in the Facebook questions area, comment area, download that, print it out, and let's work on it right now, because you'll walk away with a marketing action plan for the next 6 months that you can take and sprint through the rest of 2020 to make the money you want to make to bring it home to your family, okay? You'll download that. If you have to go to breakthroughbroker.com, you can do that as well. Download the marketing action plan, okay? So here's the marketing action plan, and we're going to go through it. There's several facets to what we're going to talk about today. In the beginning, this is important for you to start to think about your business, your individual business, all right? We're going to talk about some things before we get into the actual marketing first. I teach a class here in the States, throughout the States, titled I Shall Not Should on Myself. SHOULD. I shall not should on myself. I believe we are shoulders by trait. We tell ourselves we really should get our business plan dialed in, and we should check on our business plan every month, right? But we don't. I really should get a marketing action plan done. I really should get my unique selling proposition dialed in so that my friends choose me when they know 10 other realtors, right? Have you guys ever thought to yourself, why would you hire you? Have you ever thought to yourself, why would you hire you? It's a difficult question, right? So the beginning of your marketing action plan has to deal with, why would you hire you? That should rattle off your tongue like it's part of your DNA. Why would you hire you? If you can't articulate very convincingly and passionately why you would hire yourself for the largest financial transaction of your life, then how can your friends choose you when they know 10 or 12 other realtors? It's difficult, right? So we're going to start here by going into a little bit of why would you hire you? Now, when we teach this class at the beginning of the year, we piggyback this onto our business plan. So if you want to go backwards and do your marketing plan first and then go back to the business plan, you can go to breakthroughbroker.com and download the one-page success plan. There's a workshop there that teaches you, that goes through to figure out how many homes you need to sell. But we're going to be laser focused here today, okay? So for me, my one-page business plan, I split everything in half. For the next 6 months, I want to bring home $62,500. That's after I pay my taxes, after I pay my split, everything. I want to bring home $62,500 in 6 months, right? I wanted to bring home $125,000, so I split that in half. So I needed 3 million in sales volume. This is a whole different plan. But here's what I really want you guys to look at. We're going to look at the actions it takes to sell the amount of homes I want to sell in the next 6 months. If after doing your business plan, you've decided that you need to sell 10 homes in the next 6 months to make the money you want to make, okay, then we're going to have laser focus on the actions it takes to get there. So for me, when I'm looking at my marketing, I know that in 6 months, if I want to sell 10 homes, okay, I need to close 4 buyers and 6 sellers. All right. I need to engage 6 buyers because 2 of them won't buy. And I need to go on 10 listing appointments to get 6 listings. You don't get every listing. So I want to look at my activities. We're going to talk all about action today and activities. The activities that I conduct on a daily basis when I wake up in the morning and I go home in the afternoon, okay? Every action I take needs to be focused around getting 6 buyers engaged and 10 listing appointments, all right? So we're gonna talk about that here. You know, you could get a little deeper into the actions and again, a lot of this talks about the shoulds in our life, right? But I'd like to ask you guys, if I was face to face with you, I'd ask, what do we do? As a career, what do we do? A lot of you guys, if I was face to face, would say, I sell homes. And unfortunately, right now, you don't sell homes. The consumer has access to data more than ever before, right? And so in some of your markets, maybe you still are holding on to that data, but here in my market, I've gotten in cars with people that know more about the neighborhood than me, and I was a cop and a realtor because they sit up at night and they search homes and they look at solds and they're doing all of this stuff, right? And I have a question for you. If you have no one to sell a home for, what does it matter how great a contract writer you are, or negotiator you are? So the number one thing we do as realtors is the first thing we do is to find people to buy and sell homes with us, from us. So the first actions we take every day should be thinking about getting 10 listing appointments and 6 buyers engaged. This is just an example for me. Okay, but we're going to keep going. On part 1, page 3, of the marketing action plan. This is we're going to start by just working a little in and on our business. And again, this is really important. Okay, because no matter what we're doing to look for leads, and I hate that word leads, we're still going to get most of our business from the people we know. Guys, I'm fortunate enough to talk to some of the top producing real estate agents in the world. And some of them spend $20,000 a month on marketing, But when I ask them, they still get a crazy percentage. 80 to 85% of their business comes from the people that they've worked with in the past or know. So the sphere of influence is still huge. So what are your short-term goals? For me, I go back to my business plan and I need 1 buyer engaged per month for the next 6 months to sell 4 homes to buyers. And I need 1.25 listing appointments per month over the next 6 months. And I need to execute every day. So I want you to put some short-term goals in your marketing action plan on page 2 or page 3, okay? Now we're going to hop in to our long-term goals. I want to execute on my 10 key marketing metrics to achieve my financial goal of, and this was for the year, so that should be 62,000 net take home in 2020. That's for the last 6 months of 2020. So I want you to put your long-term goal, okay? And maybe right now, by doing a marketing action plan, you want to build some consistent systems to manage your workload and not increase human capital and overhead. And I want to nurture my sphere in 2020. Again, guys, you'll have access to this later. These are my long-term 6-month goals. You guys will have your own, okay? But it's important to set up your marketing action plan with some dialogue with yourself. I know that sounds kind of weird, to understand where you're at. And I keep looking at my business plan, okay? Part 2, page 5. This has to do with your unique selling proposition. Why would you hire you? Why would you hire you? And this is important because in your marketing action plan, you have to be able to articulate. Remember, this is marketing, guys. You have to articulate in your message, whether it's direct mail marketing, whether it's social media, whether it's virtual happy hours now, all of those things, you have to articulate what makes you better than the other realtors, your friends and family and sphere of influence know. So you have to have your unique selling proposition. What makes you unique? This was an exercise that Nathan and I did from a business coach years ago that was really helpful to us. We took all of these words and we looked at them and we said, what of these words, and pick as many as you want, what of these words really speak about me, the brand of Me Inc., not the company I work for, me. So I said, I'm sincere and trustworthy, straightforward, professional, and passionate. But you guys can come up with all of these things, right? And it helps to articulate to our sphere of influence in the messages we're promoting over the next 6 months. And then in 2021, if we understand what makes us better than the other realtors your sphere of influence knows. What makes us better if we're paying for leads than the other 3 realtors who are going to connect them? What makes us better when we connect with a for sale by owner than the other 50 realtors who contact them? If we're marketing to expired listings, what makes us better? You need to know that like it's part of your DNA. It has to rattle off your tongue in a passionate way that people are going to think, wow, she's amazing. And it's a way better answer than the other 15 realtors I asked that about. So page 6, we're going to keep working on this a little bit. Page 6, we're going to keep working on this a little bit. I'm just going to make sure, perfect. And while we're in here, again, guys, we're going over this. This will take time. You'll download this and you'll work on it later this afternoon, right? But what do my clients appreciate about me most? This is really important. Really, really important. I would love for you guys to write this down. I think my clients like my process, systems, and communication, and the remarkable home selling experience. That's what I thought, okay? Now, I want you guys, if you have some time, you should do a survey of your past clients. This is pretty funny. I thought my clients loved my process, my systems, and our communication. When Nathan and I did a survey of our past clients, they just said they loved the experience so much. It was interesting. We had a different perception of what we thought our clients loved than what they really loved. You know, one of my clients, this is really funny. We got, for one of our buy sides, we got an amazing deal. We got like 22 inspection items. They got a great price. They got a great deal. And in our survey of what they liked best about it, it wasn't the price. They wrote in there that they liked that I picked up Slurpees. That's like a slushy drink for them and had them waiting in the car every time we went looking at houses. That's what they wrote. It's pretty funny. So survey your clients to see what they really liked about you, and you can leverage that in your marketing. It's a really good tactic for you guys. So my promise to my clients, this is a lifelong relationship that will last long past finding your dream home. Now, I meant that because I do a class on tunnel vision. Sometimes we get tunnel vision, right? And we forget that those clients, that they have their lifelong relationships for me, because I believe they're going to give me 10 to 15 referrals over the next 10 years, including another 2 or 3 homes that they want to buy for themselves. So what's different? What makes me different? I always said my experience as an ex-police officer helps me throughout the negotiation process. And that was just my unique selling proposition. I would walk into a listing presentation with nothing, no documentation. I'd build really good rapport, and I would look them straight in the eye and say, look, I was trained in negotiations for 13 years. I was a detective for 7. I promise you I can negotiate price better than any of the realtors in our marketplace. I look forward to using you to working with you. So I never went back to how many homes I sold or my stats. I used my unique selling proposition. So what's the most important thing I do for my clients? I provide my clients with a remarkable home buying and selling experience. My process, strategy, and systems will ensure my clients will always. This is just an exercise. Why is this important? Some of you on the call may be like, this is too touchy-feely for me. It's important because your marketing has to convey a message. And if you don't understand what's special about you, then in marketing, the whole idea is for you to get people to notice you, to recognize your brand, and to take action and use it, right? So if you don't know these things, if you haven't taken time to work on them, to write them down, to think about them, then it won't come through in your marketing, all right? So we'll talk about that. What's your brand message? So now that we've done all of this touchy-feely stuff, the bold, sincere, passionate, trustworthy, my unique selling proposition, what people like. Well, now I'm going to say my brand promise. And the brand is you, like me, Inc. And my brand promise is that I'm a badass realtor, passionate about my clients' happiness, sincere in my approach, hardworking, and knowledgeable. That is my brand. That is our brand at Breakthrough Broker. Was my brand when I owned my real estate company. And that was my brand when I sold homes as a team leader. So all of that stuff is in there. Okay. So, and let's go back real quick, if we can go back to that. Guys, I don't want you to think that this stuff is not important, because it will, once you learn that, once you spend a day writing the first 7 pages and really going through this and understanding what's special about you and keeping in mind, why would my friends hire me when they know 10 others? Why did I choose my car insurance person when I know 15 car insurance people? Why would they choose me? After this, and it's part of you, then we can move on to the what. What are we going to do? What actions are we going to take in our marketing efforts for the next 6 months to make 2020 successful for us? So what I would say is on page 8, we're going to talk about what worked. We're going to actually go through what we sold in the first 6 months and last year as well. And we're going to look at it. So for example, we have address 7033 Woodrow Drive, sales price $675, Sphere referral. Mansfield Avenue, Sphere referral. Cookway, Realtor.com lead. Johnson Court, Facebook ad. We're going to go through all of as many as we can. This year, last year, the year before, if we can. Then we're going to look at what didn't work. I spent a lot of time doing for sale by owner marketing. It just didn't work out for me. Just listed postcards. I wasn't being very strategic. I was just spreading them all over the world, and I didn't have any strategy to my farming or prospecting. Next door realtor advertising, I don't think they have that there, but it was something we had here. And then my neighborhood monthly newsletter. I took an ad out on the neighborhood newsletter on the back in black and white. I don't think I got one deal from it. So really look at what worked and look at what didn't work. Good English. What didn't work. And the whole idea here is to analyze the metrics of your business, right? Like business owners do. And so this is a really important fact of what you're going to do in the future. So now identify the source of each sale for the past 2 years. Okay. Not enough room there, so complete it on a separate spreadsheet if you'd like. And then the marketing metrics is important. So again, look at what you did that didn't work. Look at your activities that didn't bring in as much money as you thought they were going to bring in. All right. So here's the next piece to the puzzle. On 9, how much do you want to use for your marketing over the next 6 months? Now, this is difficult. The first 6 months may not have been awesome for us. We had a few months off. All right. So what is our budget? It may be 0. It may be 50 a month, $50 a month. It may be $100 a month. Whatever that is, you need to put it in here. All right. Because we're going to work on a daily budget. Now we're in our marketing budget, and this is in what we sent you. Okay, guys? Your marketing budget. And there's some links on Breakthrough Broker if you need these under the marketing action plan. Now, we're going to look starting in June. So we'll go all the way to June, and we'll start in June. Are we going to do postcards, newsletters, letters, or other? Okay. Mass media. These are just some ideas, and you can assign some dollars to this. Okay. Maybe we're just going to do virtual open houses for a while, which might not cost very much money at all. Maybe we're going to do virtual coffee meetings, which won't cost you much money, if anything. Maybe we're going to do virtual happy hours. Okay, so these 3 things you can do at very low cost. All right. Maybe we're going to do a post-corona party for my past clients in Sphere of Influence. I'm just kidding. And so all of this stuff. All right. Are you going to subscribe to your CRM? Are we going to do email marketing? That can be low cost, right? So are we going to do some Facebook advertising? So all of this will add up to your budget that you've chosen on the previous page. So if we look at I put these in just for training purposes, but let's say I'm going to do 240 a month in newsletters, and we can move all this to June. And I'm going to do 100 a month in social media, $75 a month in my email spend, and $350. This is if I have 1,000 a month. But again, this just shows you how we can get to our budgeting purposes here. And then you're going to see, and you just go all the way to June. We're going to start in June. You're going to have your budget here. I want you to list your goals. All right. And you're just going to, every day, you're going to say what you're going to do. 2 coffee meetings with Sphere. Okay. You're going to write day by day what actions you're going to take. So if this was June instead of January, I would do 2 virtual coffee meetings a day, get my monthly newsletter out to my Sphere that day, 2 more coffee meetings on Wednesday, virtual open house Facebook ad. I'm probably not going to do door hangers. Okay. So again, guys, we're going to look and we're going to go through this every month, and we're going to do June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. Okay, guys? So that's going to help you really look at your action steps, okay, as we get through the process. So in here, guys, this is actually part of the business plan, but you guys can just write this down. I have a brainstorming, session that I want to get to with you guys, and I want to just go here. There we go. So marketing brainstorm, what can you guys do right now? I think we can look at virtual open houses. I think these are great. How would you do that? Maybe we'll do another webinar on that. Maybe you've already done it. But virtual open houses, you can do Zoom open houses. You can do videos. You can do lots of creative ways to do open houses. Direct mail, strategic direct mail. And that would be, if I were you, I'd be doing that to my sphere of influence. Things like status of the market. Can you sell your home post quarantine? Can you buy a home post quarantine? What are more, all those things you could do with strategic direct mail. Facebook advertising. Okay. Paid online advertisements, one-on-one meetings, virtual happy hours, virtual coffee meetings. Okay. Call capture, if you might do that. relocation, AdWords, SEO, blogging. I think you guys should be blogging and having a huge social strategy right now. You guys should be very present on your social media campaigns. I think a lot of people are going to be downsizing right now. So downsizing marketing, okay? Strategic relationships, and we do that. I teach a class on alternative marketing strategies. So we did lots and lots of sales, and all the marketing we did were with strategic partners, human resource directors, divorce attorneys, estate attorneys, recruiters, all that stuff. So you can really create your own marketing brainstorm and then attach it to your budget and then create day by day. One of the most important things you guys can do is create a day by day action plan and stick to this. Remember, if you have no one to write a contract for, if you have no one to negotiate for, okay, then you have no business to do. So the first things you should be doing every day are your marketing actions. Once everything else falls in line after you find someone that wants to buy or sell a home. Okay, so we're going to hop out of here and I'm going to pop in here real quick. I have some ideas in your marketing center. Okay, guys, I have some ideas in your marketing center under social media. Okay, you know, I think you guys can still post content on social media to let people know how the industry is going, to let people understand what's going on. And here, I think you guys can start by saying virtual open, and we'll change that. But you can just say open online. And you can put the Zoom link right here. Make sense? So you can leverage some content in the marketing center here as well. If we're working on our marketing action plan, we're working on our unique selling proposition in the marketing action plan, then I think it's perfect time for you guys to leverage some self-promotion as well. So this is where you guys will get all of the worksheets in and have your virtual, and these can be placed when you're done. I think these can be placed on your social media, placed on your websites, all of that stuff within the marketing center. I want to get back to some questions. I want to get back to the marketing action plan. So Lee, if you want to pop back on and let me know if there's any questions going on right now.
I've been keeping an eye on. Thank you, Eric. If anyone has any questions, please type them in the right-hand side of the Facebook Live in the comment section. We're happy to answer any. Yes, as always, this session is available on Facebook Live. It will be on our website and then on YouTube. We do this every day. Any other questions? Eric, how often do you go through and do this worksheet, and how often should people be revisiting it?
Well, I'm a huge fan of doing your business plan and making sure your business plan is in front of you and reviewed every week. With a marketing action plan, as we saw later in the marketing action plan, there's daily tasks. So the marketing action plan should be wherever your computer is, and it's old school. It's a piece of paper, and I did it that way on purpose. I like the old school, write it down and look at it. I think in marketing, it should be looked at every single day because you have daily tasks that need to be done in order for you to make the money you want to make. And if we get through a day and we didn't do anything to make money, to anything to contact or to be in touch with people on the marketing side, then we're losing momentum on that side.
Okay, I've got another question that's related to that. How long do you hold steady without results to test a new mode of advertising?
That is the best. I can't believe I forgot that too. Anyone on the call ever seen the movie Up? You know the Disney movie Up? You guys know Doug, the dog from Up? Should have been named Realtor. Lee, do you know that movie?
I have heard of it. Yes, I have not.
Okay, so anyway, for those of you on the call that know Up, there's this dog named Doug who like chases squirrels everywhere and has zero zero focus, right? It should have been named realtor, because all too often we choose a marketing action, let's say open houses, and we do 3 open houses and we don't get any buyer leads, so we quit, right? Then we choose to do marketing to a farm, and we tell ourselves in January that we're going to do that farm or prospecting, geographic prospecting, and we do 3 newsletters and 1 postcard, and we don't get anything. And so we're always on to the next thing, right? I'm going to try this, I'm going to try that. I believe if you think, and to the question, if your marketing action plan was well thought out, you should continue it for the whole year. And you look back on it at the end of the year. If it didn't work, you don't do it again. But if you look at the cost, if you're doing open houses, clear and consistently over time, over a 12-month time period, or in this case, 6-month time period, and in November, you get a buyer and you make a $15,000 commission on that buyer, your average time spent, your hourly wage is pretty darn high. And if you get 2 buyers and you did it in June and July and August and September and October, and you didn't give up, and in November you get 2 buyers, you make $30,000 off 2 buyers. Again, your hourly wage is really high. So to answer the question, you have to choose marketing tactics and stick to them for the entire time of your marketing plan. And if they didn't work, then you go back next year and you don't do that again. But I believe you stick to the plan for the duration of your marketing action plan.
We've got a couple of questions on the same topic. What are your recommendations for a new agent or someone with no listings at this time? How do you think they should try and differentiate themselves?
So if you're a brand new agent in real estate, you probably had a past life. Maybe you did something. When I was training a rookie real estate agent who held the record at the Verizon store for most sales in a 15-day time period, like in the whole Verizon network. I was like, that was great. Tell me more about this record. Well, we had to put in time for that. And so we articulated this record that he got for his mobile phone sales back in, before he was in real estate. And that became his unique selling proposition, right? And that was in his letter to his sphere of influence. And you're not a rookie at life, you're just a rookie at real estate. So if you're a new real estate agent, I think there are things you can contribute to a client that, and be able to articulate a unique selling proposition that doesn't have to do with past sales stats. Does that make any sense, Lee? What was the second part to that question?
Basically, or if you have no listings at this time, how do you, we're talking a lot about virtual open houses, selling, those types of things, but what if you don't have anything right now?
It's hard work. It's a lot of action. It's phone call. I have this conversation with my wife every day. It's phone calls and happy hours and virtual happy hours and virtual coffee meetings and picking up the phone. We did a webinar on Breakthrough Broker. Of the 4 of the top 10 realtors in the world were on our webinar last week, and we asked them, what tool are you using right now during this time the most? And we expected some crazy like CRM or lead gen stuff, and every one of them said their phone. Every one of them said, I'm calling incessantly. I'm calling past clients. I'm having great conversations. I'm scheduling virtual happy hours and virtual meetings, and I'm working all day, every day. So if you don't have a listing right now, it's hard work, it's action, it's momentum, right? Every action you take has a little bit of more momentum. And so if you wake up on Monday and you have 11 amazing conversations, and you wake up on Tuesday and you have 9 great conversations, okay? You've now had 20 great conversations in 2 days, and that momentum will build off each other, and you'll find listings through that. There's no silver bullet. It's a lot of hard work and marketing and articulating what we just talked about, why you're better than the other 10 realtors that they know.
All right, I'm just going through to see if there are any other questions. Generating sellers leads, same process?
Sellers, like listing leads or buyer leads?
It says sellers leads.
Okay, so listing.
So I'm guessing sellers.
Yeah. Same process. You know, you're gonna do your uh, when I was selling, I loved when I was doing open houses. I would do a VIP open house invite 2 hours before, so that people from the neighborhood would come visit, and that I could cultivate relationships and they could see how good I market a home. And so cultivating sellers leads, I did a lot of, we did a ton of open house marketing. And when we were doing the open house marketing, my mindset wasn't just to find buyer leads, because that's why you do open houses, right? You always do an open house to go sit there and hopefully a buyer walks in. But my mindset was, in addition to that, to make the neighborhood see how amazing I was at marketing and stuff like that, to use me when it comes time to sell their home. So I think you can leverage that. And it's a little hard right now. I'm not sure we'll be doing in-person open houses for quite a long time. So we may have to get a little ingenuitive on that. And again, seller leads also come out of your sphere of influence. So if you're not keeping in front, you know, NAR on the US side, they do this thing where they do a thing called Profile of Home Buyers and Sellers. And they ask thousands of people that bought homes in the United States if there's a bunch of questions, right? The first question is, did you like your realtor? And 82% said they loved their realtor. And they said, would you use your realtor again? Another 80-some% said, of course, I'd use my realtor again. And then they said, did you? And it was some disgustingly low, don't quote me on this, it was like 12% actually used their past realtor. So what does that show you guys? It shows you guys that we're not great as a group of staying in touch with our sphere of influence and our past clients. And so if you're looking for seller leads, they're all in the people you know. They're out there, right? They just have to be reminded. They have to be educated. So in your sphere of influence marketing, educate people. Now might be a great time to put your home on the market, because if real estate might take a steady decline in some marketplaces, now's the best time to sell before it does. If real estate may do a V shape, what we're suggesting, it might happen. But either way, market to your sphere of influence. It's the best way to find seller leads.
How do you figure out the client acquisition cost? Is there a formula you use?
Oh my gosh, no. A lot of realtors do. There's a great book out there called Metrics. If you look up Metrics, Mindset, and Something by Brandon Doyle, D-O-Y-L-E. Brandon Doyle, D-O-Y-L-E. And his book is, oh man, I'll find it. It's called Metrics, Mindset, and Something Else. I read the book, and I've actually spoken with Brandon. He's the king of ROI and metrics on your marketing. So for me, I didn't get that deep because I'm just a sales guy and I love having this frame, and I like getting out and talking. But for those of you that are more analytic, go find that book by Brandon Doyle, D-O-Y-L-E, Metrics, Mindset, and something else. It's 3 M's. It's a great book on marketing metrics and mindset. That's what it's called. It's a great book on measuring cost of acquisition, on ROI, and all that stuff. Fantastic book if you're into that, into the real analytical side of your marketing.
Great. Thank you very much, Eric. Those are all the questions we have today. And we put the name of that book in the chat as well. So if you're looking for it, please go to our Facebook chat and you can find the Brandon Doyle book right there. Eric, thank you very much. I think you've given people really tactile things that they can go and they can fill this out and spend some time over the next few days doing this. It's really useful information, and we're getting lots of feedback saying great presentation. So
hopefully, thanks everybody. We hope you guys took one thing away from this, and hopefully I'll be back. Thanks, Lee, for having me.
Thank you. Always nice to see you, Eric. And everyone, we will be back here tomorrow. We are talking about LinkedIn. That may be a social media channel that you have ignored in the past because you don't know what to do with it. Well, we have a LinkedIn expert coming to talk about how you can build the best possible LinkedIn platform for yourself and how to nurture it as time goes on. So as always, we will be here at 10 o'clock Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye-bye.